Hi everybody and welcome to today's webinar. First of all, thank you very much for attending today's webinar. We've got a whole lot of you attending today. This is a really interesting webinar because there's nothing to sell. This is a webinar where we're going to take you through step by step how to set up a profitable PPC campaign in just 30 minutes. It's something that I've been looking at myself, and I've got a good friend of mine, AM Khan, no relation, even though we have the same surname. And we've been talking about this for quite a while now. And AM is sort of like my go-to guy that I go to when I want to find out more about how PPC works. And I've used PPC in the past to build a 6- and 7-figure business, and I've used joint ventures as well at the same time. And what seems to be happening now moving forward, a lot of people are going back to paid advertising. A lot of people are going back to building quality leads via paid marketing. And what I wanted to do was bring someone in who I believe is a top professional in the marketplace. Who here's the thing, guys. AM, I'll give you a bit of a brief background to AM. But AM deals with real-life companies. He has a company that provides PPC campaigns for small businesses, individuals, and corporate companies. So he's been doing this for, I think, over sort of 10 years. So he's not someone who's just come into the industry and created a course to show you how to do PPC, and then tomorrow he's a social media expert. This is his core talent, skill, business. So as always, I try and find someone who can tell us the ins and outs of how to use PPC in our own businesses. Or if any of you are on this webinar and have clients that require PPC services, or you want to fine-tune the services that you're offering, because I know a lot of you also do local business marketing, then this is also an interesting webinar for you guys. Just a brief background to AM. He provides expert online business strategies and PPC management services. He's Google AdWords certified, and he's a professional PPC marketer also. He's worked with a lot of the Inc. 500 fastest growing companies. Like I say, he's worked from small businesses to professionals to Inc. 500 companies. And his company's also developed many popular PPC software tools, as well as the PPC management programs for agencies, resellers, and business owners. So he is pretty much involved headstrong in PPC. It has his main business and his main core. So what I'd like to do further before we move on is bring on AM, if we can. Hi, AM.
Hey, Sal. Thanks for that introduction.
Excellent. Okay. So what I'll do then, AM, thanks for your time. I know how busy you are. I know we're trying to always lock down times because my webinars are normally slightly later, but AM's schedule is very, very busy, and he's got a lot of projects he's working on and clients. So I'm glad he found time out of his busy schedule to be here. What I'll do now, AM, is I'm just going to pass over the controls to you, and then I'll let you run from there. So if you give me a second, I'll make you the presenter, and you should see that on your screen, and then I'll let you carry on from there.
Excellent. All right, so let me go ahead and see this real quickly.
And guys, also what we're going to do is, while AM's setting up, we will have a Q&A as well at the end of the webinar. So if you've got any questions you want to ask AM about PPC, about how PPC works, you will have an opportunity to do that at the end of the webinar. Just put your questions in the box, and what I will do is I'll read out those questions for AM for you guys. So AM, take it away. I'll be here if you need me, and good luck.
Excellent. And Sohail, before you, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, I can see the screen. Can everybody just give me a yes that they can see the screen? Also, just to let you guys know, yes, this webinar will be recorded, and everyone who's registered for the webinar will get the link for the replay. Okay.
Excellent. All right, guys. So basically, we're going to go through a module within Google AdWords to set up your campaigns step by step. So basically, this is setting up a profitable PPC campaign for your business or your clients in just 30 minutes. And we're going to cover 4 important steps over here. Why Google AdWords? We're going to cover that. We're going to cover some of the important features of Google AdWords. We're also going to go through the mindset of understanding your business, because this is the key element in really understanding how to set up a proper PPC campaign within AdWords, is really going back to the basics and understanding your business. And then we're going to go into the live PPC campaign creation, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in under 30 minutes and keep it tight and keep it relevant and keep it profitable. So again, this is a step-by-step webinar. It's pure training. So at the end of the webinar, we are hoping you can go and do this on your own and get a profitable PPC campaign set up within just 30 minutes. So I'm going to go right into this right now. So why AdWords? You know, 3 reasons: reach, relevance, and return on investment. According to Pew Internet, they found that 92% of all online adults use search engines to find information on the web. That's 92%. The relevance factor is Google AdWords shows ads to prospects who are actively searching for what business have to offer. So basically, it's not like television or radio or anything related to a push type of marketing. This is really a pull type of marketing where users are actively searching, and when your ads are popping up at the same time they're searching for it, it becomes extremely, extremely powerful, which is why AdWords is where they are today. And then return on investment. Basically, it's a pay-per-click model which ensures that businesses only pay for qualified eyeballs. So these 3 reasons alone makes AdWords a very, very powerful solution for any type of marketing mixes. Some important features for search is device targeting. You can use Google AdWords to target not just laptops, but tablets and cell phones. So it's very, very important to understand that you have this level of control where you can specifically granulate your campaigns to certain devices. They have a keyword tool that's built in. It's a very, very powerful tool. It's free, and we're going to go into some of those features as well using the keyword tool. You've got match types, so basically you can extend upon certain keywords or really hone in granularly based on some of the long-tailed keywords. So Google allows you to use match types. Remarketing, it's huge. It came out a couple of years ago. Big wave back then, still big wave right now. Remarketing basically tags people, visitors onto their computer, their mobile devices, or their tablet, and you're able to follow them around the display network, which is, you know, it's the largest advertising platform, online advertising platform right now. You're able to place your ads and follow your users through other parts of the web. So if you're selling dog training DVDs and your prospect goes to an automotive website, they'll still continue to see your dog training DVD ads. So remarketing is very, very powerful. Local, obviously the local landscape is enhancing, you know, in all areas, Facebook, you know, SEO, and it's no different with paid. The difference with paid versus all those other mediums within Google AdWords is that you have geo-targeting capabilities in a very, very, you know, granular level again, not just countrywide and region-wide, but it goes down to state, city, and even zip code and postal codes. So that's huge. Mobile is another feature, very, very exciting for a lot of service-oriented type of businesses, restaurants. You know, it's really, really essential to understand the mindset of a user on certain devices, and mobile is really on the go. So the mind frame for targeting mobile users versus desktop users is completely different, and mobile has a lot of features that you can take advantage of within Google AdWords. And last but not least, you have ad extensions. Basically, you can extend your Google AdWords ads to include products, other site links on your site, location. You can add a call extension, and you can also add a social feature, which is the Google+. Now, getting into this, again, this is a webinar that will walk you through the step-by-step processes that you would need to, equip yourself with to create an effective campaign. And the reason why I'm going through some of the things that you need to go into, which is understanding your business, is because believe it or not, a lot of people, especially people that I speak to these days, although they know their business, they really do not understand it to a level because they haven't asked the right questions, or they haven't taken the time to understand some of the landscape. So I'm going to walk through some of that with you so you know exactly what to ask yourself and ask your clients about their business, so you can really get it down to a level where it makes a lot more sense to compete within any medium, any marketing medium, not just Google AdWords, but any marketing medium. So the first thing is, what are your business goals? Really get down to the nitty-gritty. What do you sell? How much is one new client worth on an average? So if you're selling a tutoring service, and one new tutoring client or student is worth, let's say $200 a month. How many months do they stay on per year? Is it 3 months, 4 months average? So you can come up with a number and say that one new client is worth $1,000 per year. So now you know what it is, what a client is worth to you, and what you can spend, or you can run some numbers and at least have an idea that one new client to me is worth $1,000 a year. If I am to spend $100 to acquire a new customer, then obviously that's worth it. So you really got to ask yourself, how much is one new client worth to your business? What marketing have you tried? It's very important that you reverse engineer everything you've done up to date and see what was effective and what wasn't, because Google AdWords allows you to test test a lot of different strategies, on the fly, and you get results instantaneously. So when you have something that was effective, or other medium that was effective, you may want to use that in Google AdWords initially, just to see if you can duplicate that and then scale upwards. Who is your ideal customer? Again, get into the mindset of your ideal customer, who they are. Again, if we go back to the whole tutoring business, our ideal customers are our students, our parents, age brackets. You can really get granular into who they are, and believe it or not, it's worth sitting down and really writing up your perfect audience, and really profiling them and understanding who they are, because you're able to talk to that kind of audience better than if you would to just generalize an entire audience. What is your sales cycle? What is your funnel? So basically, this is really the key thing here. A lot of time I spend with customers, with prospects, sitting down with them and really trying to understand. I mean, if they tell me that, listen, AM, I'm trying to get 100 new customers to the door. This is what they're worth to me. Blah blah blah. We really try to break down, how do you attract a customer? Where how is your sales cycle? Once a customer shows interest, what do you do? How long does it take for them to become a customer? And is that being reflected on the experience that they have on your website? How do you keep customers loyal? This is very important, because if I attract one new student, how do I have them come back next year, without having to spend $100, or $200, or whatever it was to acquire one? It's really not just cost effective to keep a customer, but to have those customers happy and to have them refer businesses to you, it's exponential. And you should have a strategy on how to keep customers loyal. What are you looking to achieve this year? This is something, again, coming back to the goals, to set everything in a manageable expectation. You should ask yourself, or you should ask your client, what are you looking to achieve this year? I'm looking to achieve 200 new students in my tutoring practice. 200 new students equals X amount of revenue per year. It allows you to really keep the operations into perspective, meaning you're going to have X amount of marketing dollars, you're going to have X amount of cash for overheads. So it's good to understand that and keep that into perspective. So when you ask a client or ask yourself, what are you looking to achieve this year, it will bounce back into the whole strategy overall when you create your Google AdWords campaign for the marketing end of it. And then you want to match that, what you're looking to achieve this year to what your sales were like last year, and see, why you haven't achieved any of those goals this year. What have you done differently last year? What marketing have you used last year? Is there anything you could have done with the overhead to really cut costs? But again, to do this correctly is to understand your business 1,000,000%. And these are the kind of questions you should always ask yourself and your clients. And lastly, what is your exit strategy? It's great to have a business, but it's also better when you build your business and you grow it X percentage year after year, and then you have a larger company come out and buy you out. Or you simply flat out sell your business because you're showing year after year profit. And it's always good to have that in mind. It keeps the perspective clear when you do your marketing as well. It allows you to really push into other markets that you wouldn't have thought of if you know what your exit strategy will be. Now, list your products and service you want to promote. So basically, have a piece of paper and a pen, and really just go ahead and just list all of the products you have and all the service that you offer, and just write them down, because those are going to be your primary keywords that you want to go after. Describe the features of the product or service and list which page on your site has more information about each particular product or service. So basically, if I have a site that does the tutoring, there may be math tutoring, reading tutoring, chemistry tutoring. I want to be able to write down each of those keywords, all those variations of those kind of keywords. So chemistry help, chemistry tutoring, chemistry homework help, and then go back and look at my site and see, is there a page that has everything to do with just chemistry and not just my home page, which has everything. So you want to be able to make a list of that and match it up. It's very important that you do that, because when you go into that type of granularity within your marketing, you're leading your visitors through a process that will eventually turn into a conversion. And we'll get into what that is too in our live demonstration. Describe your ideal prospect and why they may be looking for your product or service. So again, you want to sit down and list all of the reasons why they are looking for your product or service. In this case, why are they looking for chemistry help? Maybe it's because it's too hard. Maybe it's something they want to master and they just haven't found that edge yet. Maybe they got a B and they want to get an A in their class. You really want to be able to get the demographic information of your ideal prospect, especially when you're doing a campaign breakout. So in that exercise, you want to be able to list all of the pains, all of the features, and all of the demographics that you can on that particular ideal prospect looking for chemistry help who's going to end up going to your chemistry tutoring landing page. What would your ideal prospect type into Google's search box in order to find the kind of product or service you have? List as many potential keywords or search queries as you can. Again, this goes back to what I said earlier about the chemistry tutoring. You're basically identifying potential keywords, and you're able to identify the emotions of the search intent. You know, if someone types in, chemistry help, for bad grade students or students with bad grades, you're able to find out the emotions, and emotions are very, very key. A lot of times it helps you write ads that are going to resonate with that visitor more than your competitors' ads, which will make you stand out. So again, list all of the keywords, the kind of search queries that your visitors will type onto Google.com. And then go ahead and open up your browser. Open up Internet Explorer, Firefox, Chrome, whatever browser you have, and type in, one at a time, all of those keywords that just came up. So type in chemistry tutoring or chemistry help. Type in all that and start looking at your competitors. Okay, look at the ads that are appearing on the top and the right-hand side. Those are the Google ads that other advertisers are paying to be there for, and really start taking notes. You want to gather the most important online competitors you feel are there, and you want to be able to review the competitors in depth. Okay, remember, you're competing in a landscape of those who are actively searching for solutions. So at the same time, you want to be able to be in front of your visitors, but you also want to be above your competitors in gaining their clicks onto your ad. So this is the process here where you set aside a piece of paper and you really start writing these things down. Everything we've mentioned so far. Take note of what actions your competitors want the visitors to take after the visitors click on their ad. So if there's an ad for chemistry tutoring, and the ad says free chemistry cheat sheet, click on it, see what the landing page is, and see what action that the competitor is wanting the visitors to fill out. Is it to fill out a form? Is it to call a toll-free number? Just list all of them, because you want to be able to see why certain competitors have a certain way of defining an action that they feel is desirable, and then maybe you have something that's better, or you may want to follow the crowd, and if it works for everybody else, it must work for you. So there might be something else different that you might want to take advantage of, rather than the actions. But list all of your competitors' bribe and identify where they are in the buy cycle. And when I say that, I mean it could be that the landing page talks directly about chemistry tutoring for $35 an hour. Buy here. Okay, so that's assuming that the visitor is a hot prospect and is willing to buy right now, and they're placed at the end of the buy cycle, versus another competitor who may say, get this chemistry cheat sheet, fill out your name and your email, just so they can collect your name and email address so they can contact you later on and build up that trust factor, which works like a charm, by the way. So either way, you want to be able to identify if they're in the lower end of the buy cycle or the higher end of the buy cycle with their strategy, and this is the way to identify that. Now here you want to be able to ask yourself what makes your product or service stand out from the others that you've listed as your competitor. You want to be able to identify your unique selling proposition. Okay, whether you have one right now or you don't, a lot of times this is where the clients that I speak to have a difficult time in really standing out from the crowd, and this is where they spend most of their time after our call, is to identify what makes them different. Maybe what makes them different, for example, the chemistry cheat sheet that I've mentioned, maybe that is their unique selling proposition, getting them into the funnel. What is yours? And you want to be able to identify that. So this enables you to identify key information to use in your advertising messages as well as your landing pages once the visitor clicks through. You want to be able to list the most frequently asked questions received from prospects and consider including what you feel are the should ask questions. Just because you may have a frequently asked questions section, maybe there are questions there that you're noticing in the industry that people aren't really asking, and maybe they should ask. Again, this could be something where, in the chemistry tutoring, maybe they should ask if it's, if it's guaranteed to improve your grade by, a letter. I don't know, but you want to be able to extract. Again, this is an exercise. You want to sit down and you want to ask yourself, why aren't my prospects asking these questions? And this is a very good way of starting off on a landing page. Something that they should ask. That would help your ideal prospect to better understand the product and service offering. So again, not only the frequently asked questions, really dig into your marketplace and find out what they should be asking and list them down. What are the benefits to the end user of your product service? List as many as possible. What will users achieve, accomplish, or gain from the product or service to help with ads and landing pages? So again, you want to be able to extract as many benefits that the end users will receive. Guaranteed A on your next chemistry test. Again, these are the kind of things that you want to be able to extract, on a piece of paper and list as many of them as you possibly can, because we're going to use that on your ads and new landing pages. And what actions would you like your visitors to take? List them. This helps identify the action you want your visitors to take and create bribes to place on landing pages. It also helps identify which ad extension you may want to use, like a click-to-call or a call extension, a location-based extension, or other parts of your site, like site link extension. Again, this is all comes back to everything that you've gotten down written on a piece of paper, so you can further analyze this and create your Google AdWords campaign. Where are you looking to target your ads, your AdWords marketing geographically? So list the geographic area from country, region, cities, states, and even postal codes. If your service or your product caters to a specific area, specific postal codes, Google AdWords allows you to really get into that area where you can identify just certain geographic locations for your marketing, and it's very, very powerful. So if you're not looking to market worldwide, if you're not looking to market nationwide, you can really get specific on your geographic location targeting. And then you want to ask yourself, what's your monthly AdWords marketing budget? Again, if you tell yourself, oh, I just want to spend $300 a month, and your goal is to get 500 new students at the end of the year, that's where the expectations come back to, really, we may come back and say, in order for you to reach a goal of 500 students, for the year, this is what your competitors are doing right now. This is what the marketplace is in terms of the cost per click. This is what we feel we can get in terms of, new students coming through the door. You may need to spend $1,000 a month on Google AdWords opposed to $300. And if you still want to spend $300, let's adjust your expectations. So rather than going after 500 students for the year, For your 300 a month, you're probably just going to get 100. So again, this is something that you got to force yourself to say, this is my marketing budget, but does it coincide with my goal? If it doesn't, am I willing to raise it? This is key here, because a lot of companies, a lot of tactics, a lot of things you read online, it doesn't really set the expectation. You want to be able to scale higher. That's fine. If you only have $300 a month to play with, let's manage your expectation and say, you're only going to get 50 or 100 new students a year. Okay, so again, this is all to do with expectations and really doing this correctly. This is why Google AdWords is the most effective marketing platform on the planet right now, because they're able to really do this correctly. But if you don't have the proper mindset and system in place for yourself to understand this, like when I say system, I mean the notepad that we just went through, and understanding your business further, then you will not get anywhere with any kind of marketing platform, let alone the most effective marketing platform, which is Google AdWords. Now, what do you hope to achieve in 90 days with AdWords? This manages your expectations based on data, based on budget and keyword bidding. Are your goals realistic? Again, this is everything I just said earlier. Have they achieved any goals like this on any other marketing platform? So if your marketing budget is $300 a month and you want 500 students, what other marketing platform even came remotely close to that kind of goal with that kind of a budget? So again, managing the expectations is key here. How long will it take for you to place codes on your specific pages of your website? Let's be real here. We want to be able to measure everything, and Google AdWords allows you to measure everything. With all of the coding that you're able to do within the Google umbrella. Example, the analytics code, the remarketing code, the webmaster code. There's a lot of things you can use that Google provides you for free. So when you do spend that $1 for your traffic, you're able to measure that $1 back. So you want to be able to understand if you're able to place codes, how long will it take, or if you have an outsourced resource that does that, how long does it take them? I'll tell you right now, all these codes shouldn't take more than 3 minutes each to place. So just to give you an example. And how long will it take you to create custom landing pages? Again, if we went through the entire auditing of the questions that we just asked here, and we found out there's the chemistry tutoring, the math tutoring, those 5 specific sets. Do we have 5 specific landing pages for those that walks through the mindset? And if we don't, then you want to ask yourself, how long does it take to create a custom landing page? With the design, usually you borrow the same design on your web page, and for the content. If you have someone in-house, it shouldn't take more than a day. If you're outsourcing this, it shouldn't take more than 2 to 3 days to create each custom landing pages. So with that being said, again, this is something we certainly always have to go through. Is making sure you understand the process. And I understand this. Most of you on the call may be wanting to go right into the Google AdWords step-by-step inside of the AdWords campaign. But I'll tell you right now, without understanding the business, there really isn't any kind of effective AdWords campaign. I don't care who you are. So that's why I had to go through that process. And right now I'm going to go ahead and create a search campaign in real time using this process. In the meantime, I'm just going to call back Sohail real quickly. Sohail, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep. I just wanted to just to see if there's any kind of feedback from you in terms of what you felt that process. I think it was really important for us to cover that, because a lot of times people just don't go through this. They don't really understand their business, and they don't take the time to understand the competitor and the landscape. And this is, I would say, 60% of the key ingredient here that makes any kind of marketing a success. Wouldn't
And
you agree?
yeah, and also at the same time, I think it makes a lot of people fail when they try and delve into pay-per-click marketing, because a lot of people go into it totally the wrong angle, and they end up spending too much money, and not knowing exactly how to target. The whole point of PPC marketing, for what I've learned myself, is it's all about targeting. It's all about, you keep targeting until you get the price of your campaigns down as much as you can. But you're right, you've got to do all the research beforehand. But the targeting is the biggest key, and that's why a lot of people, once they have that in place, they can just keep spending money on pay-per-click marketing because they're making more money than they're spending.
Exactly. Like, for example, I'll tell you, some clients would balk at a $1, $2 cost per click. But at the end of the whole trial and error, they see that they're able to spend up to $500
Yes.
to acquire one customer, because that one customer is worth $10,000 a year to them.
Exactly, and it depends a lot on the conversion. I mean, I used to spend, when I started, I used to spend, which is now $1.60 per click when I first started, because that each client was worth, to be honest with you, each client was worth a couple of $1,000s to us. So to spend that much amount of money, and we had our conversions locked down, we could afford to do that. So we had a combination of that and a combination of doing joint ventures to generate leads as well.
Right, right. So okay, so we're on the same page. So again, everybody should use that tactic, on a piece of paper. It really does come down to the simplistic ways of doing business. Is really understanding what your assets are, what you have, in your arsenal, what your business is all about, and what your bottom line is. And those steps that we've taken thus far allows you to do that like a pro. So we're going to use some of those elements right now in the real time, and we're going to use your site, Sohail. We're going to use your site to create our first AdWords campaign. Again, this is totally unrehearsed. I'm going to look at your site. I'm going to look at certain parts of your site that I feel would go ahead and make the best use of our time here. Again, a lot more time that you spend on understanding your business, and a lot more time that we spend understanding your business, a lot more effective we can be.
Yeah, this site that you're looking at right now is the only multi-page site that I have. Most of my sites nowadays are all landing pages. They're all optimized press pages. So a lot of my sites now are one-page sites, which are landing sites, which more or less have videos on them rather than any sort of sales copy. So what you're looking at right here is my main website, which has all the copy on there and has multiple pages. So
excellent. And I know we spoke about this briefly in terms of which site we're going to use, and I know you wanted to use a few other sites that you've had. And the reason why we couldn't use that is because single-page websites are frowned upon by Google, and ultimately a lot of times you end up being suspended with your one-page website, only because Google follows three things. They want you to have three things as an advertiser. Your website should have easy navigation, unique content, and most importantly, well, not most important, but equally importantly, is the transparency of your business. So again, everyone should have a site that is what I call a brochure website, which has just a ton of information, a ton of ways of just browsing through your site, like the way you do right here on the left-hand side. Okay, so there's a lot of activity here, a lot of unique content, easy navigation, and it's quite transparent what you're trying to do with your website. Other sites that you've mentioned that was just the one page, it's just, it doesn't have all the other elements, so Google would probably go ahead and suspend you. But what I say is, if you already have a site if you already have a one-page site that's converting, just use that one-page site onto your normal site, or create a new site, a brochure website. For you already have sohailkhan.com, so any kind of website, single-page website, I would just go ahead and create a a site that's a subdomain on that site. So going into it, I know one of the things we were talking about is promoting your free proposal letter, which I believe is this right here.
Yes.
So a free JV proposal letter template. Again, being that this page is trying to get users to create their first JV partner in 7 days, we're hoping to attract just those people looking for keywords like attract JV partners.
Or make money with joint ventures, sort of like that.
Right. With make money with joint ventures, you know, that I would reserve that for another dedicated landing page, only because it doesn't start off that way here.
Sure.
Right. It starts off with free JV proposal letter. So if I'm going after attract JV partners, JV proposal letter, or even JV proposal or joint venture proposal, when they see our ad and our ad says, you know, create your JV free JV proposal letter template.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who search for JV joint venture agreements online. That's one of the biggest searches under joint ventures as well. So JV agreements and JV proposal letters is quite big. Yeah.
Right. So then leading them here through an ad would lead them through that path, rather than them clicking on your, become a joint venture broker course or get your JV partner in 7 days and bring them to your homepage. You know, most likely you've just wasted a click because a user wants to see what they want to see right away. So in this case here, we're going to use keywords like JV agreement, attract JV partners, joint venture proposal letters, and JV proposal, and then bring them here to this page where hopefully they'll go through this entire thing and they will fill out their name, email, address over here and get the value that you're looking for in terms of attracting a new prospect into your funnel. The other thing that you and I have not spoken about is I just took a liberty to look through your site, and again, going through the whole ordeal about writing down what I feel your business was about and how you want to attract new customers. I also went through some of the things on your site. I saw that there's a free audio. So again, this would be somewhere in the, if you recall the whole buy cycle thing that we talked about. With these people that you're attracting to a free, a free JV proposal letter and a free audio, would they be someone in the beginning stage of a buy cycle where they're just, I'm just looking around, or are they hot, meaning they'll buy something right now? Most likely they'll fall under the beginning stage of the buy cycle because they're just looking, they're browsing, they want to be able to see something right away, versus someone who's typing in, JV, joint venture broker consultant, or joint venture consultant, or looking for those types of keywords that are more in the middle and towards the end of the buy cycle, where you're able to say, pay me now $3,500, $500 an hour, and I'll get on the phone with you, or I'll send you my course. So you got to be able to break it down. So what I've done is I've just broken down just these 2 pages over here for our campaigns, which will be the free Power of Joint Venture audio download and the free JV proposal letter. So we're going to use those 2 in our demonstration today. And I just want to show you that on the home page itself, we don't want to direct people to the home page, only because there's just a lot of things that's going on the home page as well that we don't necessarily need to attract them to. So depending on how we break down the keywords, the ad groups, the text ads, the landing page, we want to be able to keep it simple. So I'm just going to go ahead and just use these 2 landing pages. Okay. So when you log into your Google AdWords account, you want to go ahead and create a campaign. And you want to name this campaign. So let's say this campaign I'll name search only, because there's a lot of networks there, search and display, display only, and search. So we're going to go with search only. Search only is just using Google.com and any other search partners that they have that people actually actively type in keywords into to get results. So you want to be able to pop up in those results. So I'm going to call this campaign again, for simplicity's sake, search only, and then we'll target US and UK. All right, and then devices here, I just want to attract anybody who's on a tablet and desktop and not the mobile phone. So we'll also put that in the campaign here description so we know. So we'll put in computers and tablets. Okay, so my campaign is called Search Only US and UK Computers and Tablets. And then I will go ahead and choose my location. Now, being the fact that some of these keywords we're going to target will not have as many impressions as I've seen some of those earlier on with the JV, attract JV partners. The other keywords I haven't seen, so we'll see those in the keyword tool. That's why I'm grouping two continents together. Usually what you want to do is you want to even go as far as just saying I just want to target the US only because some of the campaigns, you know, if you can segregate it as much as possible, you should. In this case here, if there's not too many impressions from the keywords, then you can go ahead and group them because you can also look at the dimension report, which will break them down to you anyway. And here, the bidding option, I will bid manually. And my default bid, since I don't know what it will be at this point, I will say £1. And budget, so Hal, what are we going for in terms of monthly budget?
What do you advise on that?
Let's start with 10 pounds a day.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so we'll do 10 pounds a day. And over here with the ad extension, again, if you recall, you know, do you have other links on your sites? Do you want them to give you a call? Do you have a specific location? For now, what I'll do is I'll leave that blank. It's just as effective. But if you go back to your notes and you see that you're a physical business, you want to be able to have a location. If you have multiple different offers that may be beneficial to the primary offer, you might want to go ahead and create a site link, so multiple links to your site. If you're accepting calls, great, you know, put in a call extension, and if you have a social media campaign going with the Google Plus, you can go ahead and include your Google Plus page. So we're going to leave all that blank for now, and we're going to hit save and continue. All right, and here you're going to create your first ad group. Now you can have as many ad groups. I think it's about 2,000 ad group limit that you have. It may have increased. It used to be, I think, 200 at one point, but now it's about 2,000, I think. But the point is, you have many ad groups, and ad groups should be looked at as a way to segregate your specific keywords. As far as, you know, if you have, for example, you know, if we have 5 keywords we're attracting, so those 5 keywords are JV agreement, attract JV partners, JV proposal letter, and JV proposal. I could put that all into one ad group, or I can create 5 ad groups and create separate ads for those. So in this case here, I'm going to create one ad group and put all of those 5 keywords in there. Because they're all relatively, it means the same thing, so the ads will be relevant. So I'm going to call this JV proposal. so the headline, we'll create a headline, and this headline would be, let's say, free JV proposal letter. So we'll try to keep that the same. Free JV proposal letter. Okay, so you have 25 characters for that. And then again, I'll borrow some of the text in here. I'm trying to really go after, and just to show you what I mean here, some of the keywords we're going after. So if we type in free, I'm sorry, not free, we'll say JV proposal, you'll see here that there aren't any advertisers for this, okay? And if you look at the tool here, you know, I'll come back to this later. Let me go into the tool here real quickly and show you that the JV proposal, let's say agreement. Let's look at the search volumes for those types of keywords. Okay, so JV proposal agreement doesn't have a lot of or any in there in the eyes of Google. But if you go here and you look at what you said earlier, joint venture agreement, it has locally here in the United States about 2,500 searches per month. If you add the column approximate cost per click, it'll show you here that it'll cost you approximately 47 pence to get to go and start bidding on these types of keywords, joint venture agreement. So what I'm going to do is I just want to show you that real quickly. I'm going to come back to this because we can add the keywords back into our account. But just to show you here, we're just going to try to keep these types of keywords for that type of landing page here. So going back to the whole ad group, I'm going to create the ad group again. Okay, so the ad group was called, let's call it JV. Okay, so I'm going to try to borrow this here, free JV proposal. So some of the elements here, get your first JV partner in 7 days. Okay, so free JV proposal letter, get your first JV partner in 7 days. And then we'll say, no, I wouldn't say limited. Get your free JV partner in 7 days. And other benefits. And the reason why I'm looking at the landing page, again, you can create your landing page first, which is the great thing, and then create your ad, because now you'll know what the landing page is actually following them through the process of. If you look at an existing landing page, you want to be able to have them take an action. So when you come here, they know that they're going to get a free JV proposal letter. That's going to get them their first partner, JV partner, in 7 days. And then we'll say step by step process revealed. Okay, so we'll put in the domain, which is sohailkhan.com. And the beautiful thing about Google AdWords is it allows you to extend your message on your display URL as long as the first few characters are the actual domain itself. So we'll put sohailkhan.com and put free JV letter. Okay, and then the landing page here. Okay, so now we have free JV proposal letter, get your first JV partner in 7 days, step-by-step process revealed, and then sohailkhan.com, free JV letter. And here we're going to add the keywords that we wanted to add, which is JV agreement. And now we can get into the match type. There's the exact match type, which basically you'll put brackets around. All right, that'll be exact. So anybody who's typing this exact keyword, you'll pop up for. And then there's the phrase, which is quotes around it. So a quote would mean that anything before and anything after the two words here would also appear. So if someone types in free JV agreement report, that will also pop up too. And then you have the broad version, which is just broad, and this allows Google to really go out into their ecosystem, and it allows them to grab anybody that is typing anything remotely close to JV agreement, which could be a bad thing. It all depends. If you don't have that much traffic, it's a good thing to keep the broad or the modified broad, which I'll talk about in a second. Keep that on because you're trying to attract as many of these types of visitors, and then you're able to curate them from your report, so you can add them as negative. Anything that you see later, if somebody types in, free JV agreement for oil rigs, so you could put in, negative oil rigs, so it won't pop up again. So it allows you to cast a wider net and then curate from there. Or if you have a market that's, with a lot of traffic, you can go specifically with the phrase and the exact match that I went over. The modified broad is a newer type of match type, which allows you to place a plus sign in front of the actual word. So now it's a more tightly refined net. So basically anything that has anything to do with agreement and JV will pop up rather than in the broad sense you'll have things that are nowhere near the word JV agreement, which at times does work nicely, but with a more modified broad it'll keep it within that line of broadness, so it'll always be somewhat related to joint venture agreements. In this case here, we're going to use just a broad match, and I'm also going to reuse that in both exact and phrase. Okay, and I'll also add in the modified here. So I'm trying to cast a wide range of keywords, visitors to see this ad. Or I'm going to create, as a matter of fact, I am going to create a couple more ads. But let me just go ahead and build that out. So that's the process I'm using. So attract JV partners, JV proposal letter, and JV proposal and joint venture agreement, joint venture proposal. Okay, so basically I'll go ahead and I'll use those variations of broad, modified broad, and exact and phrase. So I'll have a bunch of keywords here in a few different match types. And then you can see here that Google is suggesting a few things. And some of the things they suggest, they've really improved. I mean, a couple of years ago, it was not like this at all. So here, joint venture sample, joint venture agreement sample. Yep, I like that. Sample joint venture agreement. Joint venture agreement format. So again, I would really just take the time and look at this site again. I'm thinking that joint venture agreement should have its own dedicated landing page, so it talks about a joint venture agreement first, and maybe give the visitor an option to download the sample, and then get into, hey, here's a free JV proposal letter, a template where it'll help you attract your first JV partner within 7 days, because that would keep it more in line versus a JV, a joint venture agreement sample letter. Because if they come here and say free JV proposal letter, they may not click the back button. So again, this is why you want to use that step-by-step analysis of your business and break it down into the landing pages and create ads that are specific.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that.
Yep. So yeah. we're gonna go ahead and still use that because it may work out. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about Google AdWords is that you let it run, and if you start noticing people are clicking on your simple joint venture agreement, but they're not taking any action, so you know what to do next. You want to be able to add a new landing page. So we can go through all this and we can see. It even starts categorizing it, joint venture. Wow, it really improved a lot from a couple of years ago. Like, you can really get a whole bunch of ideas here. You can even get ideas for landing pages here. If you see that potential, Sohel, you can see a lot of potential landing page, like joint venture marketing.
Yes.
Joint venture course. You can get a lot of ideas how to create landing pages and then create those ad groups for the landing pages. So here we're going to continue. We can do the estimate search traffic, but what happens when you put broad, a modified broad, it won't let you do that. I'm going to put in $1 here. Yep. So broad match modifiers. So we got a bunch of keywords here that we feel are very relevant to our landing page here, right? So we're done with creating that ad group. So we're going to save that. And there you have your keywords already in place. And over here it says rarely shown due to quality. Now again, a lot of these things, if we recall the whole JV agreement, the JV proposal, those are all keywords already in here. And I believe because there's a lot of competitors going after the joint venture agreement, there's probably a lot more competitors that are using specific landing pages for joint venture agreement, and they've already analyzed your website, Sohel Khan, to understand that you are in the business of joint venture. So this will change, I believe, after they approve your ad. So. And the beautiful thing is they actually tell you here the keyword phrase doesn't currently trigger any of your ads. What can I do? You can look through all that, but if you look at the expected click-through rate, the ad relevance, and the landing page experience, you've been already rated average. So if your page was about dog training, you would automatically, I think, right here will show you that there's, you're going to continue to stay at 1 out of 10 quality score. But this will change tomorrow, I'm sure, because they're going through the process inside of the ad auction. Over here, you can see low search volume for some of these keywords here. So that's just something we should look out for. What I do right away is I click on the ad tab and I create multiple ads. So I would click on the ad tab and then I'll click on create new ad. And it automatically just generates the previous ad for you in case you want to change any elements. So here, I would probably change the headline, looking for JVs, and I'll save that ad, and then I'll create another new ad. I usually like to just test 2 ads at a time. Sometimes I go for 3, but again, it depends. If you want to go inside every single day or a couple of times a day in your AdWords account, you can look at the statistics and you can start, you can start changing them around. So here, I would put joint venture agreements Question mark. So a question mark is very powerful because it kind of regurgitates back what they're typing in. So if they're typing in joint venture agreement and it comes up joint venture agreements, question mark, get your first JV partner in 7 days, step-by-step process revealed. You want to be able to read back, you want to be able to read back and then look at this again and see if there's a correlation. Do you think these people, if they typed in joint venture agreement, and they see an ad that says a joint venture agreement with a question mark, will they go ahead, click on it, but more importantly, will they follow through the step on the landing page? And that's why I suggested that some of these keywords I think does deserve its own landing page. But we'll just leave that here for demonstration purposes. All right, so now we have 3 ads, and we're sending them to this page here. The only other steps that I would do at this point is making sure I go into Tools and Analysis, go into the conversions over here, and simply create a conversion code, because you want to be able to tell if somebody here, what would I consider to be, a conversion. If they went to the 60-minute intensive session, the intensive session here, I would place a code on the intensive session page, and that would trigger, at least I know someone is looking for a 60-minute intensive, or on the thank you page here, wherever this goes to after they click on notify me, the thank you page, and place a code there. So if I have 2 actions here, if I have joint venture millionaire seminar, I would put this as, creating a new conversion code called joint venture millionaire seminar sign up. Okay, and then I'll press save and continue. I'll place this as a lead category, and everything else is, everything else should be the same. If it goes to a HTTPS, a secured page, a thank you page, then you want to click on that. But if it goes to a regular HTTPS, which most of the thank you pages are, you want to go ahead and just simply click on save and continue. And if someone else makes the changes, go ahead and enter their email address here and it will send that to them. Or if you make the changes, here's the code to place on your thank you page or the conversion page that you want to have. And then the other one was a 60-minute. So I'll create that here. So 60-minute intensive sign up. And again, same thing. This would be a sign up, save and continue, and this is the code to place on that page. So again, now Google, anytime somebody clicks on your keyword, types in the keywords, clicks on your ads, look at your landing pages, and takes an action, it's going to show up on the conversion column of your see right here, the conversion column is created. So it'll give you that sort of insight. So again, if a new client is worth 20K to you, and you're seeing that you're spending about $1,000 to acquire a customer, I think that's worth it. And then you can have other factors too. If you're looking to generate leads, you want to be able to, you'll know that every 100 leads, 1 out of every 100 leads converts into a customer. So you want to make sure that the 100 leads doesn't cost you more than, let's say $500 or $1,000 to acquire 100 leads. Again, business acumen has to come into place here so you can thoroughly understand why your competitors are spending so much, why it seems sometimes that the cost per clicks are so high, and why it seems that that the competitors are willing to spend more when it doesn't make sense. Here you're able to break that down. So so basically, I've created this campaign in under 15 minutes just to show you that this is the type of actions you have to take. You want to be able to create ad groups based on either keywords, so separate all the keywords into each ad groups, or based on a collective keyword group that all takes you back to a relevant landing page. So all of those keywords should make sense on that landing page. So over here we have the second one of power of free joint ventures. You know, I'm not going to get into that, but basically what I would have done is I would have gotten a bunch of keywords that made sense over here. Usually this would indicate that you know, people, the visitors are looking for a business or they're looking to create joint ventures for their business. And those types of keywords I would put into the ad group, and then I would create an ad that's very specific to that mindset like we have, and segregate that into each ad group and then point them back here into this landing page. And I'll look at what actions they wanted to take. So 60-minute intensive, I already have that programmed into AdWords. I'll just go ahead and place this new code, so a free audio, into, you know, the conversion box over here. So create a new conversion code called free audio sign up. So that's basically it. I mean, this process alone, just the search part. I mean, you have the mobile, you have the display network, you have the remarketing, you have so many. You have hundreds of features in Google AdWords that allows you to, you know, to really justify your business in terms of, you know, the ROI and understanding how you can attract new customers into your funnel, whether it's the beginning stage, middle stage, or the end stage, and creating landing pages, creating ads that are going to attract them and finish their thought process and really provide that solution to them. This is the first step, and this is how you should do this correctly. This alone over here, Sohel, you know, once you let this run, you'll see that you know, just some of these keywords, like for example, I know the JV proposal, the JV proposal letter would resonate with these people more, and they would opt into getting the, you know, either the 60-minute intensive or at least signing up to the event, which you know, you can put a X dollar, X pound value to that, and curate that into your process. This is nothing like Facebook advertising. This is nothing like CPV advertising. They all have their benefits and perks, but even with those benefits and perks, you have to position it back to what we've originally talked about for the first 15 minutes of this conversation, is understanding your business and setting it up correctly for that medium. So with that being said, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and see if you have any questions, Sohel, and I'll try to wrap up as soon as I can.
Yeah, I mean, if people have got questions they want to ask AM, can you please put them in the chat box right now, and just keep putting your questions in there. And what we'll do is AM's just gonna wrap up now, and I'll let him wrap up first, and then we'll go for a Q&A. If people can just put their questions in there, any questions you've got about PPC, Google AdWords campaigns, just put them in the chat box, and I'll let AM just wrap up right now. So.
Yep. So, you know, again, Google comprises of all these codes that you can place on your site, as we covered one of them, which was the Google AdWords conversion tracking. You want to be able to utilize everything that Google has, you know, the Google Analytics, Google Webmaster, Google Places, a Webmaster code, the Analytics code, the remarketing code, you know, all of these things, you know, you have, and these are all free. And they're not difficult. I know it could seem overwhelming, but you can hire someone for, you know, less than $50, you know, sometimes even $20 per code to put into your site. And these all gives you a measurability factor, not just with Google AdWords, but any kind of marketing you have, Facebook, Ad Center, CPV, any kind of marketing, email marketing. You know, you want to be able to place these codes so you can understand it. Now, we do have a service that we offer. Again, you know, this training is enough for you to go in and do this yourself, but we do have a service that we actually partner with you, and it is based on qualifications. But I want to quickly tell you what we'll be doing for you if you did decide to get this, and for Sohel only, we're just doing a free audit. So basically, we'll audit your business just like we went through the beginning of the conversation. We'll audit that for free and really give you an idea of where you would be in Google AdWords should you want to go ahead and partner with us. So some of these elements are complete account setup to get started with Google, or a complete account optimization if you already have a Google account. Landing page suggestions where needed. Again, you've seen some of the demonstrations we have. Landing pages are extremely, extremely, extremely important. Keyword research, complete ad creation. We do the banner ad creation. We do daily campaign monitoring, monthly account performance report, mobile advertising where you need it, and a membership area for full support. We also work with your coders to get the coding in place, and again, much, much more. I wanted to just throw that out there to you in case, if you had any questions, if you want to get a free audit, and if you want this done for you and a partner, that's available. You would simply just go to managemyppc.com/free-audit. So that's free audit. And that would trigger anyone in this call with Sohel's visitors to allow us to just conduct a free audit. So that's how I wanted to wrap up really quickly. Sohel, if there's any questions, I'll be more than happy to take them right now.
Hey guys, we don't normally offer, AM doesn't normally offer a free AdWords audit, but what I'll do is I'll put that in the chat box for you guys here right now. http://www.managemyppc.com, and if you want to just keep your questions coming in, and I'll relay those questions in a second. On it. What's that? Okay, cool. And also, so if any of you guys want to register for the free AdWords audit, that'll basically help you put everything together for moving forward if you're interested in PPC. Did you also mention the resellers, the reseller thing as well?
Right. Oh, yeah. Okay. So 1 second here.
Yeah, another thing that we're working on together also is some of you may have clients that may need this service as well, for example, and you may want to offer a PPC service, for example, to your clients. What AM also offers is an outsourced service. It's basically a white label service, and I use it myself as well. I have a couple of clients who require PPC, and they're very much businesses, and I do the same thing. I outsource that. It's white labeled, and AM's just going to take you through that quickly as well. So if any of you guys are interested in becoming a reseller, there's the URL for that. It's managemyppc.com /reseller. And do you want to just tell us a little bit about that, AM?
Yeah, it's a white label program. Again, it's based on qualification. We don't take on anybody for the reseller, and there's no cost to become a reseller. So basically, if you have clients, if you have a subscriber base that are looking for Google AdWords management, again, same thing that we went through here is they really have to qualify to become one of our clients, because every single client that we take on, we look at them as partners. So if you feel you have clients, or if you feel you can refer high quality clients to us that needs the Google AdWords management type of service, then go ahead and go to the managemyppc.com /reseller. There's a short presentation there that'll walk you through the potential of becoming a reseller and what the benefits are. And once you fill out your name and email, someone from my team will contact you to further break down the program.
Okay, brilliant. So we've got quite a few questions actually come in. So the first question is from Yuri, and Yuri says, does the Google AdWords goals work well on AdWords?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
He says he's typed in, does the GA goals work well on AdWords?
Yeah, the Google Analytics goals.
Yeah,
When
that's
you
it.
set up goals, inside of Google Analytics, you're able to import those goals into your AdWords account once you connect the AdWords account to your Google Analytics account. So yes, you're able to import those goals, and those goals are you can market against those goals. Yes, definitely.
Excellent. Peter has asked the question, do you use the content network for ads, as I thought you would get cheaper clicks?
Yeah, well, Google again, we've covered the search network. The Google Display Network is something that is a wild west, and you know, for all the years that I've been doing this, you know, we've got a lot of strategies that works very well. And you're right, there are cheaper clicks now. With the Google Display Network, you have to understand it's not actively searched, you know, strategy. So people are not actively searching for particular keywords where you can strategically pop your ad and have that conversation. The display network is just like television and radio. It's interruption marketing. So you want to be able to create ads and create landing pages that are more geared towards awareness and more geared towards interest. So for example, for students, for the chemistry student type of example, I would probably place those banner ads and text ads in the display network anywhere where I feel parents are there. You know, so any websites that are related to parenting may have a banner ad that says, you know, are your students in need of tutoring? We have an awesome program, you know, a banner ad that we specifically for that, and then a landing page that gets into that to create the awareness. So it would be definitely in the beginning stage of the buy cycle versus the end stage, but there are so many different ways of going about the Google Display Network, and you know that alone would probably take about a couple of hours to break it down to you. But yes, clicks are cheaper on Google AdWords Display Network than they are on the search. But again, it all boils down to is the cheap clicks worth the action that the user takes over the long term of your buy cycle? And most of the time it's a resounding yes, but you have to have a good strategy.
Excellent. And Daniel's asked a really interesting question. He's asked, is there a going rate for providing this service for clients, and how might it be packaged? So Daniel, if you're interested in that service, it's if you go to that URL, www.managemyppc.com/reseller, and one of AM's team can fill you in on how that would work for your clients. Let's have another question. Okay. So Daniel again has asked, before any leads and conversions have been made, how might one discuss with the clients the suggested budget beforehand? So he's asking a similar question in terms of if he was going to become a reseller. I think, Daniel, again, if you want to have that conversation with one of AM's team, if you just go to that URL, put your details in there, and they'll be able to help you with probably setting up a reseller account for you if you have clients who need that service. Yuri's asked another question. How did you get to a page within AdWords that allowed you to see conversion-based campaigns? He says, when I have multiple conversions, it is all over the place. Can you please help?
Inside of your Google AdWords, you're able to actually break it down based on where the conversions are. So the 3 conversions that we set up, when we go into the conversions, the actual conversion menu itself, it shows you how you break it down into, you know, what kind of conversion it was. But within the actual campaign, to break down the conversion itself, that's where analytics really comes into good play here. When you set up the Google Analytics goals, those goals you're able to do a report based on which ad, which text created that goal for you. So in the basic elementary end of things, you're able to just get the report back. These are the conversions that happened. But if you're just looking at tying it back to which ad and which landing page created that conversion within Google AdWords, unfortunately right now without the help of Google Analytics, you can't do that.
Excellent. Okay, guys.
Unless there's a way with the dimensions report.
Excellent. Okay, guys. So we're coming close to ending the end time for the webinar. AM, I wanted to really thank you for coming on the webinar. You've actually opened my eyes to more than I thought, because I used Google AdWords a long time ago, and it's changed a lot since then, and it's gone really, really much better. Can you just before we wrap up, just show people the domain that they need to go to again for the free audit? Yep. If you can bring that page back up. Yep. So if anyone's watching this webinar, because if you're watching it on the replay and you want AM's team to do a free audit for you to figure out if PPC is the way forward for your business, then go to www.managemyppc.com/free-audit, and the next page. If anyone's interested in becoming a reseller and reselling PPC, then can we show the next slide? Then go to that URL there, www.managemyppc.com/reseller. Thank you everyone for attending the webinar today. Like I said, this webinar was, we didn't have anything to sell on this webinar. We just wanted to give some value and show you basically step by step how you can actually go out and do this yourself. There will be there is a replay of this webinar, and if you are watching this webinar, actually I've just got a final question actually that's just come in from Gareth, and this is quite interesting. AM, he's asking, a company rings me and promises me that they can get me ranked on first page of Google each week for a small fee, less than $50 per month. How would they do this on Google AdWords, and is that correct?
Well, those kind of companies, they have their own way. They probably go after the longer-tailed keywords for your business.
Okay.
And they probably, just go after those keywords. Again, the SEO side of things and those that promise to get you on the first page is not really the question here. The question is, how do I create more sales for my business, and how much is one client worth to me? And how can I get those types of people to look at my ad and then look at my landing page and have them do what I want them to do?
Exactly, and this is the difference, guys, between what AM does and what other companies do right now. AM is they're more of a fully functional PPC management company rather than someone that says we can get you on the top page or whatever, but without looking at your full business model. They go in depth into that to actually help your business leverage PPC rather than just try and get you the cheapest deal or try and get you clicks or whatever through to your site without actually helping you optimize and make money from it. So once again, guys, thank you very much. We're going to wrap up now, and everyone have a great evening, a great morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and I'll see all of you again on the next webinar. Thank you, AM. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Take care, guys.